Cole Palmer starts. 4 new signings debut in Xabi Alonso's Dream Chelsea preseason 11. Welcome to Chelsea FC Daily, the trusted home for Blues fans who want the real story before anyone else. Every day we bring you news, transfer talk, and match previews in simple, honest language, so you never have to search anywhere else for your Chelsea fix. If you love this club the way we do, make sure you keep coming back to Chelsea FC Daily, because we always give you the full picture. Now, let us get into some exciting news. A new era is about to begin at Stamford Bridge. Xabi Alonso is stepping into his first job as Chelsea manager, and fans are already dreaming about what his team could look like. Have you ever wondered what a fresh start really looks like for a big club like Chelsea? Well, this summer, we are about to find out. A new manager, a new dream Xabi Alonso has taken charge of Chelsea, and he does not have much time before his first game. In fact, he only has around 2.5 weeks to work with his players before the season truly begins. That is not a lot of time at all. But Alonso is not new to pressure. He has managed big teams before, and he knows how to get things moving fast. Soon, Alonso will start working with his squad at the Cobham training ground. From there, the team will travel to Australia to continue their preseason preparations. This is where things get interesting, because we now have a good idea of what his first team could look like. Isn't it fun to imagine how a new manager will set up his team? Every fan does it. We look at the squad, we think about the strengths, and we try to guess the best possible starting 11. That is exactly what we are going to do today, using the players who are expected to be involved in Chelsea's opening friendly, the preseason journey. Before we talk about the dream team, let us look at where Chelsea are actually going this summer. The Blues will kick off their preseason with a match against Western Sydney Wanderers in Sydney. After that, they take on Tottenham Hotspur in the same city just a few days later. From there, the team heads to Hong Kong to face Juventus, before continuing on to Jakarta, Indonesia, to play against AC Milan. The tour then moves to Malaysia, where Chelsea will play Johor Darul Ta'zim, before finally returning home to Surrey to finish their preparations. This is a long and busy trip. It shows just how much Chelsea's brand has grown around the world. Fans in Australia, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Malaysia will all get the chance to see this new-look Chelsea side in person. That is a huge deal for supporters in those countries who rarely get to see their favorite club up close. Once the tour is done, Chelsea will return to Cobham to fine-tune things ahead of the big kickoff. The Premier League season begins on Monday, August 24th, and Alonso will want his team firing on all cylinders by then. Why some big names might be missing early on here is something important to understand. Not every Chelsea player will be available for that very first friendly against Western Sydney Wanderers. Why? Because several players are still away on international duty at the World Cup. Think about it this way. If your best players just spent weeks competing at the biggest tournament in football, would you want to throw them straight back into preseason training? Of course not. They need rest. Their bodies and minds need time to recover before diving into a brand new campaign. This means players involved deep in the World Cup, especially those going far in the tournament, will likely report late for preseason. This includes a possible new signing in Maxence Lacroix, who plays for France. If France go far in the competition, he simply will not be ready for those opening friendly matches, whether he ends up at Chelsea or stays at Crystal Palace. The same logic applies to a possible arrival like Granit Xhaka. The experienced midfielder will also be given time to recover from his own World Cup campaign with Switzerland before joining full training. This is smart planning, isn't it? Managing player welfare properly can prevent burnout and injuries later in the season. Alonso understands that a marathon season needs patient planning from day one. The dream backline taking shape. Let us talk defense first. Alonso appears to be setting up his new Chelsea side with a back five system. This is a shift for the club, and it shows Alonso wants a strong defensive foundation before building forward. In goal, Mike Penders could be given his chance to debut. Chelsea signed him from Genk back in August 2024, and now might be the perfect moment to hand him his first taste of first-team action. Alongside him in defense, new arrival Marco Palestra could also make his first appearance for the club after joining from Atalanta. Josh Akiampong and Levi Colwill, both academy products who Chelsea fans already know and trust, would likely continue in the heart of the defense. Jorel Hato is another name who could feature in this new-look backline, alongside a potential debut for Pep Chavarria, assuming Chelsea managed to complete a deal with Rayo Vallecano in time. So here is the possible dream backline. Mike Penders in goal, then Marco Palestra, Josh Akiampong, Levi Colwill, Jorel Hato, and Pep Chavarria across the back five. Does that excite you as much as it excites us? Four fresh faces potentially making their bow in the same match would be a huge statement about the direction Alonso wants to take this club. Midfield options. While key men are away, in midfield, things look a little different because some key players simply will not be available yet. Moises Caicedo is expected to be one of the first names on the team sheet, and rightly so. He has become one of the most important midfielders at the club. Since several other midfielders are away at the World Cup, Caicedo could be partnered by one of André Santos, Romeo Lavia, or Dario Isugo. Enzo Fernandez and Valentin Barco will not be available for this particular game, as they are away with Argentina at the tournament. Granit Xhaka, as we mentioned, is also expected to arrive late to preseason, just like Lacroix. Even though Switzerland are not among the favorites to win the World Cup, the 33-year-old midfielder will still need his summer rest after a long football season. For this early friendly, then, the midfield pairing could simply be Moises Caicedo alongside André Santos. Simple, effective, and a good platform for the more attacking players ahead of them. An exciting frontline reunion. Now here is where things get really fun. Up front, Alonso could have a genuinely exciting attacking trio to work with. Cole Palmer is back and ready to go. He was left out of the England squad for the World Cup by Thomas Tuchel, which means he has had a full summer to rest his body and clear his mind. Chelsea fans everywhere will be thrilled to see their star man leading the line from the very first game of preseason. João Pedro could line up alongside him. He was also left out of his national squad by Carlo Ancelotti, giving him the same fresh start and full rest that Palmer enjoyed. The third attacking spot is a little more open. Estevão Willian, the talented young winger, was left out of the Brazil squad, but not by choice. He is currently carrying a hamstring injury, which makes it unlikely he will be fit in time for the opening friendly against Western Sydney Wanderers. Because of that, other options come into the picture. Alejandro Garnacho or Jamie Gittins could be handed the chance to fill that wide role instead. Then there is another name to watch closely, Giovanni Quenda. Chelsea signed the talented 19-year-old winger from Sporting back in March 2025, and he was excellent in the Portuguese top flight last season. Reports suggest he has already been working hard at Cobham, showing real hunger to make an early impression under the new manager. Could Quenda be the surprise name to start? He certainly has the quality, and starting preseason strong would be the perfect way to show Alonso he deserves a big role this season. So the dream front line looks like this: Cole Palmer, João Pedro, and Giovanni Quenda, with Garnacho or Gittins waiting for their chance too. Putting it all together. When you put the whole team together, this is the dream Chelsea starting lineup that could kick off preseason against Western Sydney Wanderers, Mike Penders in goal. A back five of Marco Palestra, Josh Akiampong, Levi Colwill, Jarell Hato, and Pep Chavaria. A midfield pairing of Moises Caicedo and André Santos. And an attacking trio of Cole Palmer, João Pedro, and Giovanni Quenda. Does this lineup excite you? It should. There is a nice mix of experience, youth, and fresh new faces all coming together under a brand new manager. 4 potential debutants in one match would be a bold and exciting way to begin this new chapter at Chelsea. Why this matters for the season ahead. You might be asking yourself, why does a simple preseason friendly matter so much? The answer is that first impressions count. This early match against Western Sydney Wanderers is Alonso's first real chance to show his footballing philosophy in action. Fans want to know how the team will set up. Will it really be a back five? Will the new signings settle in quickly? Will young academy players like Achiampong get real chances to shine? These are the questions that will start being answered in this very match. It also gives us clues about squad depth heading into the new season. Chelsea know they still need to strengthen certain areas before the Premier League begins on August 24th. Watching how this early team performs will help everyone understand where the gaps still are. Remember, this is just the very first step of a long preseason tour that takes the squad across 4 different countries. Every match on this tour will slowly reveal more and more about how Alonso wants his Chelsea side to play. What should fans expect going forward? As the tour continues, expect more players to return from their World Cup breaks. Names like Enzo Fernandez, Granit Xhaka, and possibly Maxence Lacroix should slowly work their way back into training and eventually into these preseason matches. By the time Chelsea reach their friendly against Juventus in Hong Kong, or the game against AC Milan in Jakarta, the squad should look much closer to what we can expect on the opening day of the Premier League season. This is an exciting time to be a Chelsea supporter. New manager, new ideas, and potentially several new faces all coming together at once. Isn't this exactly the kind of fresh energy the club needed? Final thoughts. There you have it, Chelsea fans. A first look at what Xabi Alonso's dream lineup could look like as preseason begins. With new signings potentially making their bow, exciting academy graduates getting real chances, and senior stars like Cole Palmer fully rested and ready to lead the line, there is plenty to be excited about heading into this new era. Of course, nothing is confirmed yet, and plans can always change once players return from their holidays and the World Cup finishes. But this early picture gives us a real sense of the direction Alonso wants to take this club. We will be here every step of the way, bringing you the latest updates as preseason unfolds, as new signings arrive, and as Alonso's plans become clearer. Thank you for spending time with us today. Make sure you keep checking back with Chelsea FC Daily, because we will always be your trusted source for everything happening at Stamford Bridge. See you again soon for more Chelsea news and Up the Blues.